וליישרי לב שמחה. אור זרוע לצדיק וליישרי לב שמחה. אור זרוע לצדיק וליישרי לב שמחה. אור זרוע לצדיק וליישרי לב שמחה. Yum bitty bum, 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 yum bitty bum bum. Hey, it is so great. Shabbat Shalom Deo. And to this beautiful congregation, I think, I've been here a little bit during COVID, but I think this is already the most people I've sort of seen in this room, and it's actually kind of bringing tears to my eyes in a way, just because I'm not used to davening with a lot of people, and that is something that I am really thankful for. And speaking of being truly thankful, when Dale and I were thinking about how we wanted to direct our service tonight, we were mindful of the fact that we are entering the season of our Thanksgiving. And as I always have, for those of you who know Dale as I do, there's nothing more exciting than having a theological conversation with him, over lunch or whatever. And we had some great ideas that we're going to share with you in our Devar Torah. I want to welcome everybody who's watching us on the live stream. If there are people from the collaborative family, we're delighted that you're here. And other people who found us for however you did, we hope that you sing along. There's nothing like doing a service with Dale Schatz. That's all I can say. It's one of the joys of my life. Dale, this is a total, you may not. Do you know Josh Warshavsky's Bowie Kala? Have you ever done that?
Yes, it's beautiful.
So I can even though unrehearsed, can we do that? Different one. I know a different one, but that's okay. So you can.
So what is Joey's show?
Oh no, it's not Joey's. It's Josh Warshavsky's.
Josh Warshavsky. So
We'll practice. I can't remember it, so I was going to ask you, but we'll do it next time. Okay. I mean, if you played a couple of bars, I could do it. I did it at my last service. So anyway.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how's it going so far? In terms of gratitude though, can I also say how much I love to be here and see the familiar faces? I was greeted in the parking lot with a big smile from tomorrow's Torah reader. A couple of things that I either am noticing or I'm remembering. I love this chapel. I love what you've done with the place, but you've really turned it into a beautiful prayer space. And one thing I noticed tonight, because of the change in the hours, is as I approached it from the parking lot, if you walk past the south side and you see these windows alight in what is otherwise kind
gorgeous.
of dark, I felt like it was the image that I imagine or have seen perhaps in books or movies of approaching a little stiebel in the forest and that's what these 3 little steps and the lit windows look like as you pay attention to the building from the south side. I loved that. And then when the Aron Kodesh was opened a moment ago, as we looked at tomorrow's Torah reading, I noticed that the Aron Kodesh was built in such a way that you can fit the fancy bits on top of the Sifrei Torah. In many Aron Kodeshes, and it always bugs me, they've got like levels and perhaps shelves, and maybe they've got like 3 levels and 8 or 9 Sifrei Torah in there. You have 5 in here, which is a great number. And there's room. There's nothing that blocks Gesundheit. There's nothing that blocks you from putting the rimonim, the fancy silver things that you've got that glorify and beautify the Sifrei Torah. And they're on the Sifrei Torah. In my home shul, for instance, we have a shelf, so they don't fit on, and we don't tend to, when we take them out, go reaching back there for them to put them on. I'm glad for us here, for you here, that you get to see your fancy bits. The Sifrei Torah are decorated with them all the time. And when you open your Aron Kodesh, you're greeted by that vision.
That is true. I will also say that they have some super heavy Torahs here at Temple Beth Emet. I want to invite you all to turn to page 14 as Dale opens our service with Yedid Nefesh. Yai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai.
Yedid Nefesh.
Yedid Nefesh of Harachaman, of Harachaman. Mishoch Avdecha El Ritzonecha, El Ritzonecha. Yarutz Avdecha Kimo Aya Yishtachave El Muhadarach. Yai dai 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 dai, 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 yai dai 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 dai.
The fourth stanza, bottom of the page.
Gale, 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 na. Ufros, ufros, chaviv alai, etzukat, zukat, shelomach. Gale, 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 na. Hufaros, hufaros, chaviv alai, etzukat, etzukat, shelomach. Reveal yourself, beloved, for all the world to see, and shelter us in peace beneath your canopy. Illumine all creation, lighting up the earth, and we shall celebrate you in choruses of mirth. The time, my love, is now. Rush, be quick, be bold. Let your favor grace me in the spirit of days of old. Dale continues leading us on page 15 with Lechuna Ranana. Lechune ranena, lechune ranena, ladonai. Lechune ranena, lechune ranena, lechune ranena, ladonai. Naria, naria, letsuyi shenu. Nekad mafanav bitoda. Naria, naria, letsuyi shenu. Bismi rot naria lo. Lethanena, dai dai dai, dai dai dai, dai dai dai, dai dai dai, dai dai dai. Arba'im shana Hakut bedor of him Arba'im shana Hakut bedor va'omar ve'vav him Rachai Vehem Adu Derachai Yada 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 Yada
To celebrate you, God, even though you remind me that sometimes I'm a pain in the neck. For 40 years, we drove you nuts in the wilderness. It says so right here. You say so. And you take us back, and you take us back, and you take us back. Like my wife, after our new puppy chews up one of her shoes, she takes him back.
She takes them back.
I would have given him back, but she takes him back.
Asher nishbati v'api im yevohun el menuchati. Join me on page 16. Yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai. Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Shemo, Basru Miyom Liyom Yeshuato, Sapru Vagoyim Kivodo, Bechol Ha'amim Niflotav, Ki Gadol Adonai, Umehulal Meod, Dorahu, Al Kol Elohim, ay, Ki Kol Elohei Ha'amim Elilim, Vadonai Shamayim Asa, Hod V'Hadar Lefanav, Oz V'Tiferet B'Mikdasho, Havu Ladonai Mishpechot Amim, Havu Ladonai Kavod Ba'oz, Havu Ladonai Kavod Ba'Shmo, Mincha Uvo lechatzrotav ayai Hishtachavu ladonai Behadrat kodesh Chilu mipanav kol haaretz Imru vagoyim Adonai malach Aftikon tevel baltimot Yadin amim b'meisharim Yismechu hashemayim v'tagel haaretz Yiram hayam lo Yalo sadai V'chol asher bo ay Az yiradanu kol atzeyar Lifnei Adonai Kiva lishpot haaretz Yishpot tevel betzedek Ve'amim be'emunato Yai-dai, dai-dai, dai Yai-dai, dai-dai, dai-dai, dai-dai Yai-dai, yai-dai, dai Yai-dai, dai, yai Yai-dai, dai, dai Yai-dai, dai, dai Yai-dai, dai Yai-dai, dai, dai, dai Yai-dai, dai, dai, dai Yai-dai, dai, dai, dai Yai-dai, dai Yai-dai, dai. We continue on page 19 with Psalm 99. Adonai malach yirgezu amim yoshev kiruvim tanu ta'aretz Adonai b'tzion gadol v'ramhu al kol hamim yodu shimcha gadol v'nora kadoshu v'yos melech mishpat ahev atakonanta me'asharim Mishpat utzedakah b'Yaakov ata asita Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lahadom raglav kadosh hu. Yai dai 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 Yai dai dai yai dai Yai dai 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 Yai dai 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 Yai dai 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 Yai dai 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 Yai dai dai Moshe v'Yaharon Kohanav Shemuel b'grei Shemo Moshe v'Yaharon Kohanav Shemuel b'grei Shemo name. Yai da 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 yai da 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 yai yai da 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 yai da 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 yai da 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 yai yai da 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 Romamu Adonai Eloheinu, v'hishtachavu lahar kodsho, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. We continue on page 20. Yai dai 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 yai dai yai dai 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 yai dai yai yai dai 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 Mizmor LeDavid ay 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 Havul Adonai b'nei Elim Havul Adonai kavod va'oz Havul Adonai kevod shemo Ishtachavu Adonai b'hadrat kodesh Kol Adonai Al hamayim El hakavod hirim Adonai al mayim rabim ay 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 Kol Adonai ba'koach Kol Adonai behadar Kol Adonai shover arazim vayishaber Adonai et arzei havanon vayarkidem kimo egel Levanon v'Sirion kimo v'Re'emim ay 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 Kol Adonai chotzev lavotesh Kol Adonai yachil midbar Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh Kol Adonai yecholel ayalot Vayechesov Ye'arot Uvehechalo Kulo Omer Kavod Ay 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 Adonai Lama bo Yashav Yeshev Adonai Melech Leolam Adonai Oz Le'amo Yiten Adonai Yevarech Et Amo Vashalom Yai da 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 yai yai da 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 yai da 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 yai da da yai da 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 yai da 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 yai da 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 da.
You may be seated. We turn to page 21. Lechadodi. Lechadodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat mikavela Lechadodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat mikavela Shamor v'zachor Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad Hishmiyanu el hamiyuchad Adonai echad U'shemo echad L'shemo teref be'tila Lecha
נקבלה, לקראת שבת, לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת מקבלה. לה 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 לה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך, עיר מלוכה, קומי צאי מתוך ההפכה, רוב לשבת בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייך. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
לך דודי לקראת קלה,
פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. תעוררי כי באורך, קומי אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת, page 22, נקבלה. דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. ימין ושמאל תפרוצי, ואת אדוני תריצי. אל יד איש בהן פרצי, ונשמחה ונגילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום. בואי ושלום, עטרת בלך, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמונה Segula, Boichala, Boichala, oh, Lecha Dudi Likrat, Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabela, oh, Chadudi Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabela. If there's anybody who is joining us either in person or virtually who is in the midst of a period of Shiva, we extend to you the traditional words of comfort shared with mourners. Hamakom yenachem etchem betoch sha'arav elei Tzion v'Yerushalayim. May God comfort you together with all those who mourn within the gates of Zion and Jerusalem. And may the memories of your loved ones endure as a blessing. I just want to point out to everybody, so I want to welcome our people who are joining us virtually. It's hard for me to explain, but what you just heard here with Dale, doing 6 different melodies seamlessly to a lecharodi, there's actually no human being but Dale who can actually do that. And you were here, you saw it, we lived it. It was a shared experience. And, you know, we take it for granted. It's like, oh, Dale, right? But it's like, no. This is not nobody. Thank you, Dale. It was gorgeous. We continue on page 23.
The blessings come from you, brother.
Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, tov lehodot ladonai. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, ulizamer l'shimcha elyon. Lehagid baboker chastecha, ve'emunatcha ba'leilot, alei asor ve'alei navel, alei higayon bechinor. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, tov lehodot ladonai. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, ulizamer l'shimcha elyon. Ki simachtani Adonai b'folecha, b'maseh yadecha aranen. Magadlu ma'asecha Adonai, me'odam kumachshavotecha. Ishbar lo yeda uchasil lo yavin et zot, bifroch rishayim kamo esev, v'yatzitzu kol polei aven, lisham damadeyad v'yatam aram li'olam Adonai, ki hinei oivecha Adonai, ki hinei oivecha yovedu, yitpardu kol polei aven, v'tarem kir'em karni beloti b'shemen ranan, v'tamedeni v'shurai b'kamim alai mereim tishmana oznai. Tzadikatamar Yifrach Keres Balvanon Yizge Shetulim Bevet Adonai Bechatzrot yafrichu od yenuvun miseva deshenim verananim yiyu lehagid ki yashar Adonai Tzuri Tzuri velo avlata bo. I want to invite anybody who is in a period of mourning or observing a yortzeit to rise, if you're able, and join us in the Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish, on page 24. We honor the memories of our loved ones together. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, bi'alma divra kirute v'yamlich malchute, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'alamu almei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. We're going to continue with our Mariv service, and then Dale and I will sort of do our little shared Devar Torah at the end. And I'm thinking that the piece from Hallel will be a perfect song to celebrate the special day. Scott and I are celebrating something today. We'll tell you about that later. You have to wait to hear what that is. I invite you.
Oh, yeah, that.
You blew it.
She's not the only one. How many of you had birthdays in 2019 or 2020, 2021, or will have? Show of hands? Because we'll sing like a group.
Yom Huledet Sameach. Very good. No, well, the significance is that it's her 21st birthday, and we couldn't be with her, but that feels like a milestone. My 21st birthday was a milestone for me. Our son's was as well. And so, and whatever. So, but what's really nice is two of her closest friends from Orange County went to visit her in Boston and are with her right now. So we feel really good about that.
Is she watching?
No. She is not. I guarantee she is not watching this.
So you asked me to come up with a song, but she's not watching? What, who's the song? Well, I tell you what. Are we going to sing it now?
You can sing the song now if you want to.
We should sing the song, just kind of as an appreciation.
A little segue between Kabbalat, Shabbat, and Mariv.
All right. Actually, they asked me for a particular song, and this is what they want to express to you, Shandel, when we know you're watching. I'll be loving you
always, with a love that's true, always.
When the things we've planned,
when the things we've planned, helping hand,
I will understand.
Always, always.
When there's trouble, days may not be fair.
Always.
That's when I'll be there.
Always. Not for just an hour. Not for just an hour. Not for just a day. Not for just a year. But
she's crying. I'll bet she's crying. She's watching this. If you're watching this right now, are you?
No,
will you call
but I'm going to
folks
make
and
her
tell them-
capture it on the Beth Emet live stream after
Call the
Shabbat.
folks and tell them what you thought of that.
I invite you all to rise for the Baruch Hu on page 28.
Oh yeah, the Baruch. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
You may be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. U'ma'avir yom u'mevi laila. U'mavdil ben yom u'ben laila. Adonai tzvaot shemo. El chai v'kayam. Tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Hamari v'aravim.
Ahavat olam.
Ahavat
Beit
olam.
Yisrael.
Elamcha. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta, al kein Adonai Eloheinu, v'shochenu v'komeinu, nasiach בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד.
אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, עמך תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך
לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ויורך ימינו
נגד יומם
ולילה.
באהבתך
אל תסיר ממנו
לעולם.
Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. Turn to page 30 for the Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele Asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvelechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam liot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvihisharecha. We take a moment to complete the Shema on our own, page 30 and 31, or it's an opportunity for private meditation. Jesus. Adonai Elohechem emet v'emunah kol zot v'kayam aleinu. 32. Ki hu Adonai Eloheinu v'yein zulato v'anachnu Yisrael amo hapodenu miyad melechim. Umalchuto beratzon kivlu aleihem Moshe v'nei Yisrael lechanu shira b'simcha rabba v'yamru chulam micha bocha v'elim Adonai mika mocha Nedar b'kodesh, Norah tehilot, Osef eleh, Malchutecha ra'uvanecha, Bokei hayam lifnei Moshe, Zeli adnu v'yamru, Adonai imloch leolam va'ed, v'nemar kifad Adonai et Yaakov ugelo miyad chazak mimenu baruch atah Adonai gal Yisrael. Page 33, Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechayim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom malkeinu lechayim. Shalom, 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 Zeitenu Uvoenu L'chaim u'shalom Me'ata v'ad olam.
Sometimes I lay under the moon.
Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim hashkivenu Adonai. Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chai. All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to see that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more war, and the people will say, Shalom, 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 Shalom. One day, one day, one day, one day. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim.
ושמועצתנו בואנו לחיים ושלום, מעתה ועד עולם, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו, ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
Amen. Please rise if you're able for Vishamar on page 34. Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Hay, 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 beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz uvayom hashvi shavat vaynafash. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah v'yalmad ivra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael bagala bagala uvizman karib v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach le'ala ula'al me'al maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei lekudesha v'richu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata damiran bi'alma b'meru. Amen. The silent Amidah for Shabbat Ma'ariv begins on page 35A or B. If this is your custom, this is also a perfect opportunity to take a deep breath and share what's ever in your heart. If you're still davening privately, please continue. We're going to resume with the Me'ain Sheva on page 47. Page 47. If you're able to rise, please do. If not, no worries. Vayechulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzevam vayechal Elohim bayom hashvi melachto asher asa vayishbot bayom hashvi mikol melachto asher asa vayevarech Elohim et yom hashvi Vayekadesh oto, ki vo shavat mikol melachto, asher bara Elohim lasot. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon Kodnei Shamayim, V'Haaretz, Magen Avot, Bidvaro, Mechaye Meitim, B'Mamaro, Ha'el HaKadosh, Shein Kamohu, Hameneach Le'amo, B'Yom Shabbat Kodsho, כי בם רצה להניח להם, כי בם רצה להניח להם, לפניו נעבוד ביראה ופחד ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד מעין הברכות אל ההודעות אדון השלום מקדש השבת ומברך שביעי ומניח בקדושה ליעמדו שני עונג זכר למעשה וראשית. Top of 48. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu, ritzei v'imnuchatenu, kadashenu b'mitzvotecha, v'tein chalkenu b'toratecha, sahabenu mituvecha, v'samchenu b'shuatecha, v'taher libenu li'avdecha be'emet, v'hanchilenu Adonai Eloheinu, bi'ahava v'ratzon Shabbat kodshecha, v'yanuchu v'yisrael makadashei shemecha, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat, yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, B'yalma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayei chonu v'yamei chonu v'chay dechol beit Yisrael b'galav yizman kariv imru amen Yehei shmei rabba mevarach la'alam la'almei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitrumam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudesha Merechu li'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru Amen titkabal tzolot hon uvat hon dachol Yisrael kodam hon divishmaya v'imru Amen Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen Oseh shalom b'romav v'yaseh shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru Amen. I invite you to be seated for just a moment. Very short Devar Torah, but so I'll share a little story, which is that 2 weeks ago I was in Michigan. With the fragment of family that I have left there. I grew up in the Detroit area to mark my father's 95th birthday. And, it's just, this has been a year of peril for so many people. And just the act of trying to make sure that my father and stepmother didn't contract COVID, knowing that they needed full-time help in the house, this is early on before the vaccines or anything, it was very difficult, but they really landed on an excellent situation with some wonderful help that really did not mingle. And then the vaccine came, and right between my father's 2 shots, he fell and he broke his hip, and then he had 2 strokes. And it was like, oh my God. And I couldn't really, my brothers came in, I came in, we couldn't really care for him because nobody could go in the hospital and nobody can go in the rehab facilities. And rightly, by the way, I'm not even criticizing that. It was just very difficult. And he was at his wit's end. And, but through great perseverance and hard work, even though he walks with a walker, he's made just a stunning recovery. So we really felt that it was worthwhile for us to, 95 is, it's a 5, 5s and 0s tend to carry some weight, except for 21, Shandel. But so we did something for him in synagogue, and he actually went back to synagogue and he chanted his Haftarah. So he called it the 82nd anniversary of his bar mitzvah, and he chanted the blessing for the new month. Many of you know that I learned my love for Chazanut from my father. So, and he talked about His whole life he davened at a Dat Shalom synagogue, which was and sort of, I don't know if it was the founding rabbi, but sort of the gadol of that congregation was Jan's father-in-law, Rabbi Jacob Siegel of blessed memory, and he was very close with my parents, and I loved him very much. And he designed an ark. And the ark was this huge, I mean, it was like, this was when they were building synagogues to be like an edifice complex where it was just giant. And I think it seats like, as Rabbi Siegel would say, his congregation slept 1,000 because everyone would always be sleeping. Anyway, so at like a very high, and it was like this woven thing, it was Jacob's ladder. It was this week's Parsha. And on the woven onto this beautiful ladder with the angels going up and down is this phrase, hang on a second. Achen yesh Adonai b'makom hazeh v'anochi lo yadati. Surely God was present in this place, and I did not know it. And, and my dad was sort of one of the primary Baal to fill in a shul. So for 50 years, he davened looking at that. And he talked about that in his little Devar Torah. But what I want to share is a very interesting way that Rabbi Siegel understood that phrase. You could say, Achen yesh Adonai b'makom hazeh v'lo yadati. Surely God was in this place and I didn't know it. Why is the word anochi there? You don't need it. It's extraneous. What Rabbi Siegel said is that the way he would read it is, surely God was in this place. Anochi is me or myself. But myself, I did not know. And the message inherent in that is to really to know God, one must know themselves, to ascend that ladder, to really be able to have the rise and fall of that closeness. No relationship is great all the time, nor should our relationship with God be. And Dale and I were talking about the image of the angels. He had a dream, a stairway was set on the ground, and the angels of God were going up and down on it. And there's a sense of fluidity in our relationship with our Creator, with the spiritual, whatever you want to say. And of course, with those relationships that we have that mirror, that are the foundational connection to our relationship and our closeness with God. And it comes and it goes and it ebbs and it flows. But anochi, we must strive to know ourselves before we can truly know that God is in this place. And Dale pointed out to me that, even more stunning is that it says, the Lord, and if you look at verse 13, it says, the Lord was standing beside him while he had the dream, and he didn't even know that God was standing right there. So interesting. So Jacob is about to embark on a journey, and as we all are, all the time, we are always descending and ascending Jacob's ladder. And if that's what we're doing a good job. So I want to wish you all a Shabbat Shalom, and my hope for all of us is that we get a chance to have that dynamic relationship. Any thoughts, Dale, that you want to sort of wrap up with?
No, I loved it. Thank you.
We are going to turn to Aleinu on page 51.
משפחות האדמה שלא שם חלקנו כהם וגורלנו כחומונה. עכשיו יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו ושכינתו זו ומרומי הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אמת מלכנו וסולתו ככתוב בתורתו ידעת היום
והשאלותה
לבבך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל וירא הארץ מתחת עינות. על כן נקווה לך אדוני אלוהינו לראות מהרה בתפארת עוזך לתקן עולם במלכות שדי וכל בני בשר יקראו בשמך לבנבנן אדוני אוהב אושים הייתנו לעולם ועד כי המלכות שלך עומד תמלוך בכבוד ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד נאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו You may be seated unless you are observing a yard-side or in a period of mourning. This week, Temple Beth Emet remembers the following people: Jean Berman Samborin, Max Borak, David Brezhnev, Esther Chaperson, Hyman Cohen, Leslie Devon, Harry Enton, Benjamin Friedman, Esther Goldstein, Morris Gord, Reuben Greenberg, Irene Greenblatt, Betty Lichman, Barbara Loeb, Helene Menashe, Sadie Messi, Edward Rodman, Helen Rosenwald, David Schwartz, Solomon Sherman, Glenn Scher, Adrian Sturmer, Habibola Tazbazadeh, Fred Wallach, Steve Waxman, Charles Wedner, Louis Weiss, Sam Weiss, Ada Wilson, and Pauline Zwick. Are there any other yard sites in the community that need to be acknowledged this week? For those of you who are joining us virtually, please say aloud the names of your loved ones who you remember this evening and join us in the Mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gadal, V'yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, V'alma Divra Kirutei, V'amlich Malchutei, V'chayechon U'v'yomechon, U'v'chaye Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala U'v'zman Kariv, V'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach, La'alam U'la'almei Almaya, Yitbarach V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar, V'yitalev, V'yithalal, Shemei Dekudasha B'rechu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. So just a few announcements before we do a closing song. I have to say, I literally get surprised every time I do a service with Dale, how much it changes me. like, Dale, in the scheme of things for which I am grateful, our friendship and our opportunities to lead services are like a highlight of my life, and so thank you. I hope you all enjoyed having Dale with us this evening. Just a couple things to note. This week, starting tomorrow, it's National Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week, and there's a lot of things going on in Orange County that are sort of, the idea of the week is really to get people sort of more tuned in to sort of where the crisis is right now. Hunger has been just over the top since the pandemic, and homelessness, even though there's been a lot of housing provided, there's still so much more of a great need. So I hope you'll have a chance to, you can find out about that by just Googling Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week. This week on Tuesday, the Collaborative is offering its once-a-month Circle of Hope and Healing for anybody who is walking a path of grief of any kind of loss, whether it's of a loved one or just, a job, a relationship. So please join us at 7 p.m. Fran Shalin, who you know very well, who's involved in this community, and Cantor Sue Deutsch co-lead that for us, and it's a lovely program. There is, I want to make sure that I'll be here tomorrow with Jason Fetty. I'm very excited about that, so thank you for allowing us to come. Are there any Temple Beth Emet announcements that need to be made? Yes.
Yes, speaking of hunger, our Mitzvah Day Committee has a project for gathering Thanksgiving foods and other non-perishable foods to donate. We've done this for many years, to donate to the families of Orange Grove Elementary School.
Okay.
So if you can, you shopped or you're going to shop for yourself for Thanksgiving, bring in whatever you can, preferably by Tuesday.
Yes, of course. Okay. So bring in your canned goods and non-perishable items to Beth Emet. They're collecting for a local school, and they're going to provide families with some bounty for the Thanksgiving holiday.
And gift cards.
Oh.
Giving them out super gift cards.
And people can donate to the purchase of the gift cards.
Oh, people can donate to the purchase of gift cards too. Beautiful. Thank you.
How do we do that? How do we donate to the purchase of a gift card?
Just, a check to the temple with mitzvah fund in the bottom.
And can it be done online?
Online, no.
No, I think, yeah, that's okay.
Set up.
And currently, the Collaborative is also doing something called Backpacks of Love and Care. Many of you, by the way, thank you. Many of you have adopted a backpack. We're providing backpacks full of warm winter clothing for our homeless neighbors and people living in shelters, so that they have great sweatshirts and warm sweatpants and socks and hats for the winter. And we're doing some other things too. So thank you for all of you who participated in that campaign. There's a lot going on, and I hope you'll visit the Collaborative website, and of course, we always do our best to make sure we advertise Temple Beth Emet programming as well. And it really was an honor to be here with you this evening, so thank you. I feel like, first of all, this is a Shehechianu moment, and I thought that Dale and I could close, since it's Thanksgiving, with a piece from Hallel. So I want to invite you to turn to page 136. This is something that he and I sang at my son's bar mitzvah, which is on Rosh Chodesh, and my daughter's bat mitzvah, which was on Rosh Chodesh. And so it feels like a connection, but it's praise Adonai, for God is good, God's love endures forever. After we sing this song, we will all gather in the social hall. We'll make kiddush together and wash and do motzi there. Hodu Adonai ki tov ki le'olamcha Yomarna, Yomarna, Yisrael, Kile olam chasto, Kile olam chasto, Yomruna, Yomruna, Ve'et Aaron, Kile olam chasto, Kile olam chasto, Yomruna, Yomruna, Yirei Adonai, Kile olam chasto, Kile olam chasto.
Everybody, hodu l'Adonai.
Hodu Adonai, Ki tov, Ki le'olam chasto, Ki le'olam chasto.
Hodu l'Adonai, hodu.
Hodu l'Adonai, Ki tov, Ki le'olam chasto, Ki le'olam chasto.
I'm grateful for the image that I'm going to carry with me for a long time of this little shul in the forest with the stained glass windows. So I ask you to go look at that. It made such an impression. I was thinking about it all night because when you're singing, it's like it even adds to the image. You read a book and it talks about the little Stiebel, and you could see, that there was light in the windows, and you hear the singing coming from within. Well, that's what the angels were hearing, who were, stuck outside, I'm afraid, because we didn't, but the angels were looking in, and that's what they could hear. It was beautiful here. Thank you.
Shabbat shalom,
Yeah, Shabbat
everybody.
shalom.
Thank you, Dale. We're going to gather around our tables and sing Shalom Aleichem together. That's how we'll begin. Oh, and Donna, wait, we have a very important announcement. There is a big Hanukkah celebration at the Nixon Library featuring a very interesting person, Ben Stein. It's the 29th annual celebration of Hanukkah at the Presidential Library in Yorba Linda. And, Ben's an actor and a politician, and he's a commentator, and we have a lot of local talent, including your very own Orange Jews. November 21st at 10:30 a.m. at the Nixon Library. Be there or be square.
You woke up the hecklers, Rabbi. That's what you did. You woke up.
I didn't know.
I didn't have nothing to do.
Heavenly.
Oh my God, what happened?